there, everyone. This is Wolf, trying not to jump scare you, so I'm whispering a little. Hi there, everyone. Welcome one, welcome all to another Arc 4 live reading for ReZero web novel, chapters 13 to 14, might I add. How are we all doing? Let's see. There we go. My gain should be a little better, so you can probably hear me a little bit nicer now. I think. Well, yeah, perfect. Okay, awesome. Then I will start getting everyone introduced so we can start these readings right away.
Yeah, I hear that's a specifically.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
I just
Oh, there
wanna
goes
say
that train of thought.
big old F you for everything you guys said while I had to be silent.
What
My D&D
are you
campaign I'm
talking
in is
about?
great because I voice as Amelia. Okay, fuck you. It's not lazy, it's
It's great
just...
solely because of it.
I didn't use that word. I didn't use that word at all.
I knew what you meant. Hello, everybody.
No.
Hello, everyone. We will introduce
Hello,
ourselves
buddy.
from top to bottom, and we'll get a moving with some Arc 4 and some fun chats.
Okie dokie. Hello, everybody. My name is Markiplier. It's not Markiplier. I'm Al. I'm out of the basement for the second week in a row, and I have been tweaking in my pants, worrying over an audition that I recently was informed. Just simply, there was nothing going on yet, so I'm no longer tweaking. Well, I guess I'm tweaking even harder, but you know what? It's fine. You know what? Pass it on to the next person.
Okay. I'm Ash. I'm an editor for Studio Reverie, and I'm voicing Roswell here right now.
Yay!
Yeah, welcome, Ash. Thank you. I'm Connor. I'm your voice of Julius and Rom and other characters to come in Arc 7.
I was about to ask, what? I remember.
Oh my god.
Oh,
I'm so tired.
I'm Eli. I'm a member of Wish Code Translations. I'll be voicing Garfield the stream, and more characters to come in Arc 7.
Oh,
Ooh.
yeah.
Woo!
Hello, I am Carmen, currently on holiday mode, but we're here. I am an editor for Studio Reverie, and today I will be your lovely Ryuzu.
Woo! I'm Kyle's. I'm
Woo.
Amelia. Yeah.
Hooray.
Hey everyone, I'm Wolf. I am your Subaru. And I'm also a co-host of the ReZero podcast that we host here sometimes on Studio Reverie. I'm also the host of today's stream. Hi everyone, hope you're having a lovely day or evening wherever you are.
And I am Excellion here for my second week. I'll be narrating chapter 13, and I look forward to being here.
Yay!
Woo!
Hooray!
And welcome to the narration mines.
Yeah, I thought, like
Enjoy your
3
stay.
lines last time wasn't enough. I might as well just do an entire chapter as a narrator.
Let's go. I like that ambition.
you'll enjoy your stay here. You can be like my replacement, in the basement.
Okay.
That was poetry. That was. Aight.
Yeah, that was bars.
That was bars.
Bars on bars.
Okay. Are we ready to start up, guys?
Almost.
Almost?
I forgot
Hi.
to launch the chapter.
Oh, buddy.
I've preloaded my water.
I wish I preloaded my water.
Just pre-generate it.
It comes into existence. It
Just
what?
keep 2 source blocks next to me in case we need an infinite amount.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I need one of those water coolers just next to my desk.
I mean, the real tactic is you just keep a single source block and then you only use bottles.
Requires glass. Wasteful.
It's true.
This is
True.
rude that you're talking about Minecraft when I can't play because it makes me sick.
You too? I
You
know like a few
too?
other people that have. Well, not me specifically,
Oh.
but I know a few people that get motion sickness because of it.
I was excited. Ow.
No, not me, not me.
Must be nice.
If regular Minecraft
It
makes
is.
you sick, I wonder what like VR Minecraft would do to you then.
I would
It would kill
probably
you.
combust.
Yeah.
I would just
You
be
know, like-
puking everywhere.
You know that meme about the average Victorian child inhaling Takis dust? It'd be like that.
You know what? If I lived in the Victorian era, I would be dead because I had scarlet fever as a child. I'm
New
the
Oh,
best
yeah, no, you
Miles
did.
law drop.
You're welcome.
That one time I had scarlet fever, and then I also had the Black Plague. You know, just casually.
But I had the first one, not the second. Thank God. I think
I
I'd
don't
be
know if
dead
it'd be
dead.
possible to have the second.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it'd be possible.
Okay. Are we ready?
Yup.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah. Hello.
Okay. Let's take it away.
All right. Arc 4, Eternal Contract Phase 1, Chapter 13, Roswell's Intent. The first thing Subaru feels when he wakes up is the touch of someone's fingertips stroking his forehead.
With how dainty and soft these fingers are, and how careful this stroking is, this is Amelia Ton.
You're right. Is it just me, or the way you guess that was so terrifying?
Subaru opens his eyes, but the palms of Amelia's hands are blocking his view of the world. Subaru's cheeks loosen into a smile at the glimpses of Amelia's beautiful face peeking through the gaps between her fingers.
What? I just figured that the only person who'd be pepping me up in the context would be Amelia Ton, and I went with my gut. Of course I don't actually recognize people when I touch their fingers.
This relieves Amelia a little. She asks if he thinks he can lift himself upright. Subaru, lying on a bed, uprights himself. He looks around to find he's in an unfamiliar building. The bed he's on is shambly built, not even comparable to a bed in Roswell's mansion that Subaru's used to. Anyway, Subaru thinks back on what happened before he fell unconscious.
How much of that was imagination, and how much of that was reality?
Subaru puts his hand on his forehead, and he puzzles over his somewhat indistinct memories of what happened inside Echidna's supposed dream, and looks at Amelia. She's sitting on a chair beside the bed, quietly waiting for Subaru to gather his thoughts.
There's plenty of things I want to ask and want to talk about. But, well, first there's something I have to say.
What?
Asks Amelia as she tilts her head. But there's no smile in her eyes. Her gaze pierces through Subaru, who scrunches his shoulders up.
I can't describe how sorry I am for making you worry. I got kinda carried away.
To the extent that he was conceited enough to think he could be Amelia's vanguard, and as a result he crumbled on the first step. A light sigh escapes from Amelia's lips.
I was really, really worried. You screamed and fainted right after you went in.
Never mind the screaming. I fainted.
You looked dead anyway. You were even convulsing, so I didn't really know what to do. It didn't look like you'd been injured or affected by any kind of strange magic.
Subaru now figures that when he had that sensation of falling immediately after he'd stepped inside the tomb, he was already inside the Witch of Greed's dream. What Subaru's instantaneous collapse had really done was force an unneeded burden on Amelia. He'd gone in there to check there was nothing dangerous, for Amelia's sake. What a fucking laugh. Subaru's face screws up with self-loathing.
Eh? Oh, Well, now ain't you finally up?
I have no idea how to praise this job. So anyway, Garfield's there and comes in through the room's creaky door. He glances over Subaru's setup on the bed before turning his gaze to Amelia.
See, ain't it right like how I said? There ain't anything weird going on with this body. It's just what it looks like.
But still, of course you'd be worried when someone collapses so suddenly for no apparent reason. Maybe you're just used to seeing that. But I don't think getting used to it is a good thing.
Stop the blustering. You're goddamn about to cry with how panicked you're seeing them all collapse. Paler than a palamigros what you were.
What?
Amelia's face goes super fucking red and she stands up, her chair clattering as she does.
I wasn't crying. I mean, I was worried and panicked, but I wasn't really...
Yeah. This was a secret. A secret. Real sorry, but seriously, don't think it matters anything. It ain't something to hide.
But it is. If he heard I was worried that I was about to cry, he'd...
Amelia glances at Subaru.
Oh, you can keep going. Go on. Go ahead. Really bad. Amelia Tom was crying with how worried she was about me.
Somehow, I just knew you'd react like that.
Amelia's shoulders fall, devoid of strength. Although indiscreet, Subaru can't hide his joy about having made his honey bunches of oats sincerely worried about him. Seeing the couple's reactions, Garfield mutters a very meaningful,
Got it. My bad. Man, ain't this rare? Me sincerely recognizing my screw-ups.
If you train it properly, even a dog will practice enough self-restraint to eat only after receiving permission.
says a sharp voice, enough to cut. Each word is well punctuated, but laced with a ghastliness that prevents Subaru from interjecting between the breaks.
Meaning, you could say that by abiding by an order, something achievable even by a dog is the absolute minimum form of a promise.
High-pitched footsteps sound out from the wooden floor at an even rhythm, pacing left to right, whittling away at Subaru's mental stockpile.
Now then,
The speaker's emotionless gaze pierces through Subaru.
what to call a creature that cannot keep the promises even a dog can abide? Do you know, Barasu?
I'm so sorry for not following your warning!
Screams Subaru as he gets to his knees and bows his head deeply, but the speaker just tilts their head.
Did it sound to you as though I desired an apology? It almost seems that you didn't want to hear my question, or even what I'd been saying just before. Considering that you didn't listen to my warning, it's certainly not impossible to agree with that assessment.
Could you please stop with this prickly indirect sarcasm? I reflected, and I seriously think I did wrong. And now here's my heart still getting crushed! It'd be less awful if you just told me off straight!
Why couldn't you have just died?
Too straight!
But considering what he did, Subaru has to accept being content with Ram's merciless scolding. She went out of the way to warn him. He completely betrayed it, and because of that, caused lots of people, lots of problems, all over the place.
All right now. About there is where you forgive him, Ram. I'm sure you've already received a very similar lecturing from Amelia-sama. Repeating it won't do anything. Except delight Subaru-kun the masochist.
I'm not a masochist. That I keep standing on landmines is just my nature.
Social stupidity is another thing to call it. Subaru puffs out his chest, and Ram gives a deep fucking sigh, as if she's sincerely fucking dumbfounded at this. She silently turns her back to Subaru as she goes over to Walswell, who's still in bed.
Now then, first of all, that you've returned safely is the most important thing. Lots of assignments have gone awry because of your stumblings before the trial. Although your actions are just some callow bundling.
Subaru crosses his arms and gives a small snort. Amelia, standing next to him, chides him by pinching his side.
Ow! Oh, Amelia, Tom!
Usually I'd want to defend you, but you were bad today. If I knew Ram had told you that, I wouldn't. Oh.
Yeah, it seems to continue.
Fuck, where is this? Okay, sorry. I wouldn't have let you gone first. Is what it seems like she's going to continue with.
Oh, yeah, okay.
No, it is
when
the
she
narrator.
stops, Subaru shoots her a wise smile as she internally mutters. That's why I didn't tell you. If Amelia had known about Ram's warning, she wouldn't have let Subaru stubbornly take a dangerous role. But on the flip side, if Ram hadn't warned him, Subaru wouldn't have been so insistent to be Amelia's vanguard. So basically...
Your warning made nobody happy, Ram.
To speak as if I was the instigator of these events is to be a dog. Or actually not. If I don't amend that to lesser than a dog, it would be an insult to dogs.
Is Ram's counterattack, packed with so much scorn that Subaru actually kind of finds it admirable. Anyway, Roswell loosely rearranges the posture of his legs on the bed.
Incidentally, Amelia-sama, how was the cemetery?
Subaru was there, so I didn't get to look around very carefully. But I do remember the nasty smell in the air and the uncomfortable prickling on my skin.
Amelia's brows scrunch up slightly. Fundamentally, she's the type to get ambiguous when giving negative appraisals of things. Roswell gives a small laugh at this notably candid appraisal of Amelia's made, before looking at Garfield, who's leaned with his back against the wall.
Garfield, have the qualifications been confirmed?
Subaru raises his eyebrows and looks at Garfield. Garfield aggressively scratches his hair, exposing his sharp canines.
My amazing self didn't go any further than the front of the entrance, but the cemetery's lights turned on all good and right. Amelia-sama's definitely qualified to take the trial.
The cemetery's lights?
It's a bunch of candle-looking things inside the cemetery. They got some trick where they catch fire and light up when qualified guys go in the cemetery while the sun's up. Guys who get that welcome safely are qualified to take the trial at night.
And if something lacking those qualifications forcibly enters the cemetery, they turn out like me or Subaru-kun.
Roswell spreads his arms out, indicating his own physical state. The bandages covering his entire body, even now, stained with blood.
Man, really feels like there's a difference in how heavily our penalties were. Did you get up to more mischief than me? You just entered the place?
Mischief, such as?
Pissing across the tomb's entrance or something? Oh, that'd get the cemetery's manager mad.
If I did, then that would mean you collapsed in a place tinkled with my wee.
Subaru brusquely brushes off his whole body at that, his face disgusted. Roswell smiles at Subaru's behavior and shakes his head.
But faced with the same refusal but met with different severity is something I'm impressed you noticed. The difference in wounds that Subaru-kun and I have is indeed large, but the reason is simple.
Mana Gate Frenzy? When I entered the cemetery, it felt so bad. I think it's because something was meddling with my gait. I didn't have problems with any of the conditions, so it looks like it let me go. But for people who don't match the conditions, it bears its fangs. The interference goes through the gate to attack its target, which means the more gates the person has, the more damage the interference will do.
Correct. And when you're me, well, it's a miracle I didn't burst.
Roswell closes his eyes and looks at Subaru like, good thing you're untalented.
So, basically, a mage overflowing with ability would be near death. All I got was the loss of consciousness. Man, it's a good thing I've got such little potential as a mage.
I mean, yeah, but doesn't that judgment of yourself hurt?
I'm relatively accustomed to being made aware of the things I can't do and can't achieve. It's okay, Amelia Tunn. It's by things only I can do that I show my love for you. So, now are we good to start with that list with, whispering your husky loves?
After the royal selection's over and things calm down, I'll think it over for you.
So at least 3 years away! But leaving the qualifications or whatever aside, that place kills mages. No idea who set that up, but all there's to say about them is they're a dick.
Considering that the Mathers family has managed the cemetery for generations, you realize the one who constructed the algorithms would have been one of my ancestors.
Sorry. Or... not really. The hell? That fits way too well with my image of your ancestors. It's like they're reincarnating all over Rothschild's family. Ugh.
Behold, the theory of a previous generation's head dying and using the next generation's head as a puppet for their will. Just thinking it is fucking terrifying, and Subaru shakes his head to deny it. Roswell smiles as if caught off guard by a joke.
There was a clan that researched such magic, but they almost definitely plucked to nothing quite a long time ago. And though you're saying the cemetery environment kills mages, there's a more accurate word to describe it.
Huh? Being?
It's simple. That place is filled with the witch's miasma. It's a nightmarish environment that makes people passing mana through their gates go insane. That's what you call miasma.
Subaru knits his brows at the word miasma. He trawls his memory to find where he's heard it before, and if he's right, it was when talking about
The Witch of Envy. If I remember correctly, the place where she's sealed is full of that miasma, or something or other.
How impressive that you knew well. Well, that's because it's a well-known story. Even now, the shrine with the witch sealing stone where the Witch of Envy sleeps is filled with miasma thick enough to distort everything in the observer's view. If the miasma in the cemetery rejects things unfitting to the conditions, the shrine's miasma is an indiscriminate mind-invading, flesh-destroying, soul-degrading phenomenon of genuine malice. It's rumored that even followers of the witch cult, with their machinations to revive the witch, can't go anywhere near it.
So, even the cultists can't get in? No, actually, that's apparent. If they get in and can't unfasten the seal, they'd win by distracting public attention somewhere else and rushing into the shrine.
Subaru thinks of Betelgeuse, who screamed that reviving the witch was his ultimate goal. Even that love-shrieking madman hadn't started interacting any plans to free the witch through direct methods. Considering that he was actually a spirit, maybe the better way to think is that he'd be powerless when faced with miasma.
Anyway, the witch's own miasma prevents anyone from approaching the witch's seal, so no one can unseal it. And that's without touching it, and that's without touching on the fact that you have to sneak by the stage Sala, guarding over the land from the watchtower, if you want to approach the shrine.
I've heard that somewhere before. That sage, Shawla. That makes her the second sage I know. Flugel and this Shawla.
Flugel? The Flugel tree? It's true that he's called a sage, but to compare him to Sage Sala is just a little rough.
What? They're both sages. Don't play sage favourites. You won't get away with slighting Flugel-san in front of me, when I kind of owe him.
Either way, Flugel seriously helped out for the white whale subjugation. Mr. Flugel couldn't have possibly thought that the tree he planted would help exterminate a monster 400 years in the future. Whether or not he'd be happy about that is another story.
With a tree that gigantic, the felled portion can definitely be used for lots of different... actually, no. Maybe there's a chance it'll all blow up during that commotion with the time bomb?
Roswell says some bullshit and calls Amelia's name in a low voice, getting the focus back on her. Amelia raises her head.
To return to the topic, that you're qualified is more than an important thing to ask. Now, you can take the trial in the cemetery. And in saying, there's something I have to ask.
Roswell says solemnly in a low voice devoid of any clownishness. Amelia's gaze turns serious as well.
It's a simple question. Will you be willing to take the trial?
I got something to ask before she answers. Why exactly does she have to be taking this trial?
Says Subaru before Amelia can answer, taking a step in front of her and raising his hand. Ram's eyes take a dangerous glint, but Roswell puts her in check by also raising a hand.
Sounds like a question you'd ask. If the trial isn't taken, then those with the qualifications can't leave the sanctuary. Perhaps you've heard this much from Garfield.
Yeah, but that's no reason for Amelia Tong having to do it. That Witch of Greed cemetery goddamn reeks of mold. We don't know if something dangerous will happen in there. How could Amelia Tong, important person and royal selection participant, be forced to go in there? The heck is up with that?
Well, call it sensible, and it's sensible logic. If we're just looking for someone to take the trial, then a different qualified person. That alone. Then I wouldn't care if Garfield did it.
Eh? You amazing me? Seriously? Ain't like I really mind. I challenge the trial and blast right through it, and it'll be a Barbara Moa's right, left.
Garfield points to himself with his thumbs and smiles wide. Subaru ignores what he's saying and focuses more on whether what he's saying can be trusted. If the trial's something that only has to be beaten by one person, then there's no need for Amelia to do it. It's better that someone else qualified, who has a more certain chance of getting through, does it. Even if that meant, worst case, that it be the qualification granted Subaru.
That'd be a tiger of a problem,
Says a voice Subaru's never heard before from the entrance of the room. Subaru glances back in surprise and looks at Garfield, leaned against the door, who waves his hand in front of his face.
Ain't the amazing me, it's this old hag.
Says Garfield, as he uses his hand to indicate to the space beside him. Subaru lowers his gaze to find someone even more petite than Garfield there, standing beside him.
Who's your old hag? Were you raised as a foul-mouthed, sinking little brat?
Says a tiny, tiny little girl with long, wavy pink hair, her attitude that of an adult. Her facial features as well organized. And she's a cute little girl, about as old as Petra, so around 11 or 12. Her hair is fine and fluffy. She's wearing a white robe where the sleeves are so long that they dangle, her hands only just peeking out. Going by how she speaks and how Garfield addressed her.
I thought it'd be coming someday, but seriously? How is this where it shows up? The lolly granny!
I got a feeling that just got Gert called something inappropriate. Is it just me?
I think he uses lolly a lot with Beatrice. It means small, right?
The little girl looks up, unsatisfied at a stunned Subaru, who hears Amelia's muttering, which show clear proof of her high experience points in knowing Subaru. Subaru raises a finger.
Yes, correct, Amelia-tan. To be more specific, it means too young to be in my conquest range. By adding the words lolly and granny together, we complete the miraculous combination of a youthful exterior and a granny's interior. Personally, lolly characters are out of my reach anyway, so you have that. But I can't understand the excellence of Gap Moe.
Gap Moe?
Girls who usually act like the chivalrous older sister type, but some tiny parts of childness or lack of everyday knowledge or sincere gullibility show through. That is yet another form of Gapmoe!
Amelia puts her finger to her lips, saying, "So there are girls like that," her face showing assent. That Amelia didn't notice that those traits all applied to her is unbearably adorable for Subaru. The little girl doesn't look so pleased.
So, didn't know what this lolly you're talking about is, but you mean me with that granny you're doing? We got someone even ruder than Lil Roz on the first meeting here.
Excuse me for that, mademoiselle. My name is Natsuki Subaru, heartthrob witch beast hunter. Well, but, I mean, I wasn't the one who got the finishing blow on either of them, though.
He says with an energetic thumbs up, and his introduction comes to a somewhat disappointing close. He points his palm at the little girl, who looks suspicious about all this.
Now I've given my name, so time for you to please introduce yourself as well. Give a simple profile of hobbies plus skills. If you could throw in your most attractive feature too, then that's even better.
Lewis Meyer, I'm something of like the representative of this sanctuary, more or less.
Her fingers alone peeking out of her sleeve. Luz scratches her forehead.
I didn't notice it when you were sleeping, but you're really a sad boy who goes past just being rude. Feel it was a waste giving you the bed.
Subaru puts together that the bed he was sleeping on is the one Luz is talking about, so that means... Amelia affirms that this is Luz's house. It's close to the sanctuary, and Garfield carried Subaru here. She thanks Luz for everything. Amelia bows her head, Luz shakes her head loosely. It seems that the two have become acquaintances while Subaru was asleep. And if it's true that Luz was looking after him...
I'm sorry for being rude and inconsiderate of what you've done for me. That you lent me the bed sincerely helped me out. And my apologies came late too. Sorry for all of this piling up.
What? I'm surprised. So you're not like Lil Gar and can give an honest apology. You're Natsuki. You're Subaru. Lil Sue, then.
Subaru complains a little about that form of address, sounding like a sibling giving a weather report, but it's fine. He'll be calling her Luz-san. Luz loses her dissatisfied expression.
By the way, you said before that it would be a problem, but why is that? Is there some kind of problem that would happen if Garfield cleared the trial?
Quick to change gears, aren't you? You're right. It's a problem. A big problem. Anyone from Sanctuary tries challenging the trial, and it goes against the contract.
Contracts again.
Subaru's face sours, and he looks at Roswell. Roswell shrugs.
Unfortunately, that contract is completely unrelated to the Mathers family. Is not how unrelated it is to clearly assert that, but the Mathers aren't the main culprit. My family is extremely auxiliary in it.
Your defense proclamations are whatever, so get explaining details of the contract's contents in 3 sentences.
Strict. Well, putting it simply, the trial must be overcome for the residents of the sanctuary to be released. But the one to challenge the trial needs to be someone from outside with the qualifications. So, with the current situation...
I'm the only one who can do it, is what it is.
Roswell nods and looks at Luz.
And all the residents of the sanctuary have already agreed. They're expecting that Amelia to challenge the trial and conquer it.
don't want you to think I'm shying away by asking this, but just for example, what would happen if someone other than me challenged the trial?
Nobody, at least not since I've been around, has challenged the trial. So, I can't say anything to your example. That no one's challenged it is the same for both residents and outsiders.
No one at all until now? I'm terrified to ask, but Luz, how old are you?
Well, at least I don't know about the time when this place was made. I think it's been around 100 and something teen years, but...
Way more than enough! You're the oldest person I've met, until now at least.
If you ignore spirits and witches with mental bodies. Subaru then glances at Amelia with concern, but even so, Amelia's expression doesn't lose its darkness.
Anyway, I understand the circumstances.
And she boldly accepts the challenge of taking the trial.
You're really attractive when you're brave and determined, Amelia Tunn. But shouldn't we look for a slightly more careful plan? We search for a back road or a side path or something. And I don't think we'll be too late to do the challenge afterwards.
I think it's so not good to rain on people's parades when they're motivated.
It's just there's something suspicious. Or I guess we're being forced onto this ride. Or I guess something, but I can't get rid of this uncomfortable feeling. Honestly, things seem a little too organized. Like, preparations were in place for us to go on this path, and now it's even going as far as controlling the traffic.
I have no idea what that means. Subaru, sometimes you say things that are so bamboozling.
Who says bamboozling anymore?
Amelia's gaze only gets sharper. Subaru frantically waves his hands about.
No. Never mind that. I mean, that this situation feels way too set up. Being called into a place where mixed races can't leave means you have to endeavour to get out, Amelia Tunn. And on top of that, everyone's already gotten everything explained and understood.
Set up by who?
Who? There's only one person who coulda.
In response to Amelia's question, Subaru does a turn on the spot. Once he reaches the end of his rotation, he jabs out his finger straight ahead.
You!
My amazing self?
No. Sorry. I turned too far. This way. There you! Roswell!
Nothing could have been sloppier.
Roswell immediately closes one eye, and with Subaru reflected in his yellow eye.
But your guesses are always good. But your guesses are as good as always. These circumstances are something I desired and created. Of course, I didn't go so far as contributing the stage itself.
You know, I think I've got it. First, I thought your injuries were strange. You should have known that you're not qualified to challenge the trial. This lad is under the Mathers family's management, and you're acquaintances with Garfiel, so this is apparent.
That's correct. You're right.
So, you should have known that your unqualified self would be rejected if you tried going in. But then, why did you enter the tomb? Some kind of arbitrary rebellion against the world? Or you crossed the limit of how long you could suppress your masochism? Both ideas are likely, but I think it was neither.
My goodness! It's this image of me that's inside of you, Subaru-kun.
Meaning, if being injured like this is exactly what Roswell intended, there's significance to it. And I'd wager that significance probably is connected to the royal selection.
Roswell goes silent.
Also, by the way, something I want to ask real quick. The Arlen villagers are gathered inside the cathedral right now. Yeah?
Off Subaru goes, doing a high-speed topic change, aiming his question this time at Ram. She nods.
Yes, they are. The civilians are all together in the cathedral, which would place them in the confinement by the residents of Sanctuary.
There you go. Confinement. Before our talk round up being cut off, go see the guys at the cemetery. But what exactly is with this confinement? Why is it necessary for these guys from Sanctuary to confine Roswell and the villagers?
This time, Subaru points the question at Garfield. His sharp gaze narrows further.
Ain't it obvious? Saying this ain't us trying to get a way out of some troubled times. It don't feel good for problems to be left lying there and have the Lord and his tag-alongs come to use our circumstances nicely.
And your problems are, of course.
That we can leave Sanctuary for the outside world. It'd be...
Some gloom runs over Lou's face, her voice thin.
Just like how I said before, it's already been 100 years and some decades since I was born, but I've never gone outside Sanctuary. I've been bound to this land by contract ever since my birth, which is why I'd have but given up. But I haven't let go of hope.
The mood of the room changes. Luz and Garfield have just given the reason why Subaru and the others are confined here. That is, they've just confessed motive for the crime. Subaru hasn't been consciously aware of this until now, but his relationship with these two is one of detainers and detainees, an assailant and a victim.
So then, it's that. You're taking the villagers as hostages. And your demands to be released from Sanctuary.
Doesn't bother me if that's how you take it, but the person who can fulfill that condition is...
Luz glances at Amelia.
Me. That's what's happening here.
Amelia accepts this with understanding and closes her eyes for several seconds. When she opens them again, there's not a trace of doubt. Her resolve is firm.
You haven't done anything bad to the villagers, have you?
Of course not. Treating them nasty ones like this is the same exact thing as lashing out. Rather die than be dishonest.
Amelia's ability to put herself second truly is amazing. That her attention turns to the villagers and strangers when she's also deciding to challenge a maybe dangerous trial is proof of that. Perhaps that strength and weakness of hers is why Subaru never stops being alert to her.
You don't look as satisfied.
Of course I'm not. None of this changes that we're just going along with your intentions. All of that changes us going from not realizing we're going along with it to us knowing that even though we realize that we're going along with it, we have no choice but to go along with it.
Subaru grits his teeth to hold back his frustration and clicks his tongue at Roswell, who's looking at him with a smile in his eyes. Subaru then suddenly glances back at Roswell as if remembering something.
I forgot to mention this, but about the motive behind those injuries.
Do go on. I won't be grading you.
It's a performance. No, it's an opening gambit.
Roswell's expression hardens slightly. Subaru closes one eye.
I doubt the Arlen villagers accept being in confinement so easily. Some backlash must have happened. To settle that, I think something indicating action was necessary. If you, the Lord, could have gotten violent and driven Garfield away or something, that would have been fine. But the people of Sanctuary are under your governance too. You can't do something like that.
And what happens then?
They have no choice but to swallow down the conditions Garfield's side puts out. That is, the the release of the mixed races from Sanctuary. But for that, Immediatan's cooperation is entirely essential. But neither the residents of the village or the villagers would just accept that. Which means the story's simple. If you go to challenge the trial, which shows intention to follow the residents' demands, as well as displays a will to release the villagers from confinement, everything works.
Roswell goes silent.
I don't know if you predicted how much damage you take from the miasma, but if you estimated it wouldn't kill you, it'd be unfavorable for you to not challenge it. Ultimately, the more damage you take, the more serious your attempt appears, and the more sympathy you earn. And this arrangement also puts expectations on the next big challenger.
So basically, fucking everything about him is being wounded. Fucking everything about him being wounded is exactly according to Roswell's intentions, and exactly how he played the whole scene out. The villagers know how strong Roswell is, and the trial can wound him this badly. So what? Would they think of someone who could come along to scale this wall and save them?
That's all. It's just an impression built off bundling of malice and prejudice. But how's the answer sheet look like?
My, I am surprised. I am truly, sincerely surprised. Just what on earth has happened to you over the past few days?
Roswell laughs from the back of his throat, claps his hands, and pulls his face back into a cherry smile.
Wonderful! You certainly reached what's almost perfectly the correct answer. I didn't believe you would be able to read this far. Indeed, you truly were a find.
Lovely. Thanks. Makes me want to puke.
Unable to hide the bad feeling in his chest, Subaru shifts his gaze aside. Roswell's intentions are clearly for Amelia's benefit, and that Subaru internally does approve of them just makes his chest feel worse. Amelia hasn't noticed this little chat going on between the two, and Subaru has absolutely no intention of telling her about it. But if Amelia is always facing only forward, then good. Subaru didn't want to inform her, who desires purity and nobility, of the dark background dealings going on. If Subaru covering himself in mud can get Amelia to receive showers of praise, then good. As of yet, Amelia has no achievements recognized for the royal selection and no firm stance. Subaru again resolves to work as hard as he can to help her. Behind Subaru's back, with his weight leaned onto the bed, is Roswell.
Almost the correct answer. That wasn't the only reason I entered the cemetery.
He mutters so quietly that it only reaches the ears of Ram, who lowers her pained gaze.
Woo! That's the chapter.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Woo!
Great work.
Well done, well done.
That was a lot longer than I was expecting it to be.
Yeah, that was a lot of pages.
I was like scrolling, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it just keeps on going.
I think
To
this
do
is
that
a
Roswell
short-
voice, I have to like
16.
fill my lungs with air.
That was really good. I like the voice.
Y'all did amazing. Okay, this next one is pretty long. Or are you guys still down to do
Yep.
it?
I have to go to the bathroom real quick.
You go ahead. We'll
Next
steal
one's
the-
12
I
pages, while the last one's
might
16.
need to duck out in 30 minutes. I've got some phone calls scheduled for tonight.
Oh, that's totally fair.
Okie dokie.
So if someone wants to just claim Rom, I'll listen in for a bit, but might have to go before we're over.
Who wants to abduct Ram?
I can always cover if we need.
All right.
Sounds good.
No objections?
Hi. We're just waiting on Woo.
The narrator versus character reading the lines. We all go through.
Yeah, it's
we all go
weird.
through it. It's fine. That happened a lot in the start of Arc 6.
Sure did.
One of the one of the narrator lines was on an Amelia line, and I'm like, I had paused to like drink some water, and then Kyle's just finishes her sentence. It's like, oh shit.
It was written so weirdly, we didn't double check that. Oops.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Look, the translator was just like slightly high, and when translating that specific part, it's fine. Maybe he was like Tappe, just doing it on the toilet with indigestion.
I guess back then they didn't have ChatGPT to translate all this for them.
It's not just GPT that they do now. It's just
What's it called?
Yeah, there's a lot of
sometimes
stuff
some of
goes
these-
into it.
Translation
Yeah.
something?
It's some.
It was
We
like
try not to
Google.
rely on like LLMs and like AI too much. We mostly use like Japanese dictionary for the machine translators, at least. Like we use like dictionaries like Jisho to like make sure our like translations are accurate and stuff. Of course, they have a person who knows Japanese go over them later.
Yeah.
But
Right.
That's why. Mhm.
We use AI sometimes, but it's definitely not the backbone
Yeah.
of the process.
Yeah, that's why like after each chapter in Arc 9 comes out, there's immediately like a machine translated version, and then after a while you get the Witch Cult translated versions.
Or like the AI greeny ones.
Yeah, the AI greeny ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a good way to get it out
Which
fast.
is-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's fine. It's workable.
Mm.
People are
ChatGPT
impatient.
is
They
weird with
see- they
Japanese
see,
sometimes,
oh, chapter
I
out.
like
I gotta read.
You have to be super specific with it, like what you're trying to do, and make it explain itself.
It's also, if you talk to it in English, it like gets worse at any other language. It's really funny.
Holy moly.
We ready to lock in this next one?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I believe.
I mean, the last one
Hi.
was so oddly, right? Like it just kind of ended.
They're like,
Arc 4 was just a different ballpark of the web novel.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just the story in general. Like, it's paced so differently, too. Like, I think, honestly, Arc 4 might be the biggest example of the most different in terms of, like,
Yeah.
from light novel to web novel. It just, how much is cut down.
yeah. Quick
The
thing
glow
before
up.
we move on, actually. Thank you so much, J. Dudley and Greeny, for your contributions. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
Thank you so much, Gertina. I hope you're enjoying these ones too. Thanks for finding us. Saying hi.
Hello.
Oh,
Hello, hello.
I love the amount of fucking. No, I meant the word, not like.
Okay.
Well, stream's over, guys.
Whoa!
Well, damn it!
Oh, good to know. Interesting. All right.
Is everybody ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Connor, just
Hi.
ask common when you're dipping.
Okay. Sounds good.
Hi.
Chapter 14. Questions and answers.
The white whale has fallen, and the cardinal sin targeting the mansion has been repelled. We are now allied with an election candidate, Krush-sama. Any one of these battles alone is a considerable achievement.
Says Roswell, still in bed, as he rubs his chin and closes his eyes. Subaru's told him all that's gone on while he's been absent.
To be blunt, these activities sound braggartly and suspect. When did you become a character in an action play, Barasu?
Subaru complains that it's kind of irritating hearing her say that, but he can't exactly disagree. He thinks it sounds unbelievable too. Both by his own and by others' estimates, it's just slightly crazy levels of doing shit.
This is unmistakably an expected result. Even I, no, not anyone could have predicted that you would have done this much.
Roswell nods, seemingly over his surprise. His expression is still weirdly serious for him as he stares at Subaru, who is seated in a chair at Roswell's bedside.
First, allow me to convey to you my gratitude. I thank you for protecting my land and people. And, being her backer, I cannot thank you enough for the great services you've devoted to Amelia-sama.
Oh, you, oh, I hear that, and even I might just slightly wind up curling up a little. I didn't do anything that...
It seems you don't quite understand the weight of Roswell-sama's thanks, Barasu.
Ram takes a step forward and looks down at Subaru, who is attempting to get Roswell to stop with her penetrating gaze.
To interrupt your superior when he is speaking, and even more so to fling denials at an expression of gratitude, are fundamentally unforgivable acts. That is without mentioning that Roswell-sama commands the station of Margrave, an important individual who bears full authority over a section of the Kingdom of Lagunica. His words of gratitude are infinitely heavier than what you believe, Barasu.
Subaru goes silent.
Considering Roswell-sama's superior position, it is no simple act that he may bow his head or proffer words of gratitude to an inferior. Do you understand more prudently that he is doing so?
Subaru has no reputation to this and lowers his gaze. Roswell casually raises a hand like, "Oh, lol, no big deal, yo."
Ram's making it slightly tremendous exaggeration. My words don't have nearly so much worth.
Roswell-sama,
says Ram, concerned. Roswell gives a nod.
That said, leaving aside the weight of gratitude given from my position, the weight of what you've done, Subaru-kun, is obvious to anyone's eyes. And I can imagine... Hold on, it just... And I can easily imagine being the recipient of much disappointment and grumbling for not giving appropriate compensation. So...
Then, you mean you're conciliating?
Through appropriate compensation, Subaru-kun, do you remember what happened in the hall for the royal selection?
Subaru's throat catches. Roswell narrows his eyes. Even now, remembering what happened then makes Subaru's chest burn with shame and self-ridicule.
I remember. Wouldn't forget it. Better I don't forget it, I think.
Then here is how I would like to reward you for your achievements. Let us make when you said then become the reality. The morning we leave here safely, I will appoint you as knight.
Subaru raises his head for a second, unable to comprehend what he's hearing. He blinks, still shaking, as Roswell gives him a nod.
Someone who has performed great deeds of participating in the white whale subjugation along with the Duchess and slain one of the witch cult's cardinals of sin should not be anonymous. Your name should both receive the honorable title of Knight Natsuki Subaru, simultaneous with the notion of speaking with you in such honor. No longer would anyone else be able to laugh at you when you said this then.
Subaru thinks over the loops with the white whale and Betelgeuse. His immature daydreams folded before reality. He despaired, sank into lunacy, scorned everything as he succumbed to his lust for revenge, was saved by love, and now was here. And with this honor that Roswell is talking about, everything from that time will undoubtedly be proven as valuable, including remaining inside not a single person but Subaru. Rem's achievements.
I accept. Gratefully. That is, so long as it gives those battles significance.
Let no one mock your pride-worthy achievements. You acquired the right to this stand. You acquired the right to stand chest high at Amelia's side by your own power.
Really? Not just my power.
Subaru mutters to himself. Roswell's brows crinkle, apparently unable to catch what Subaru said. Subaru closes his eyes, takes a deep breath, and after opening his eyes again, gives a light shrug.
Man, that was a serious little talk. Go too long like that and we'll have a character breakdown. Then it'll be embarrassing when we get back to normal, so let's rein it in. My face is already burning hot.
Roswell agrees that they've been incredibly unlike themselves in this little chat, having an actual serious talk and all. Roswell relaxes his expression too to match Subaru's grinning, and the atmosphere of the room changes. Ram gives a small sigh.
Now then. Next would be that you have questions you would like to ask Roswell-sama, correct, Barasu? You distance even Amelia-sama from this conversation for that purpose.
You're being prickly, speeding the conversation ahead, but that's actually a help. I'm not treating Amelia Tan like she's a nuisance. Just if she were here, Rozchi'd probably clam up.
Indeed, Amelia is not in the room.
Which was why you made her accompany Louis-sama for a survey of Sanctuary. Although Amelia-sama seemed rather discouraged when she heard you would be staying behind.
I'm glad she's counting on me, but considering what's coming up, I can't just run full throttle off cravings for what's right in front of me. She'll probably meet up with Otto somewhere, so worrying about her alone isn't... Whoa, what if that bastard Otto makes a move on Ameliatan? Ameliatan's super crazy cute now, I'm worried!
I don't quite think it's a good idea to make... I don't quite think it's good to make yourself worry midway through talking. Regardless, your ideas aren't incorrect. If the content was something I didn't want Amelia-sama to hear, I definitely wouldn't voice it.
Knew it. You're intentionally limiting what information gets to Ameliatan. What the hell are you thinking doing that?
You don't think it's necessary? I've been selective with information. I be selective with information? Royal Selection candidate Amelia is infinitely above me in importance. However, her knowledge hasn't been polished enough to befit her qualifications. Pushing too much on her midway through their learning would merely be forcing them. So...
From the guy who can and did set up Ameliatan with that carefree learning environment, some nice platitudes that the people who know things aren't saying anything when the situation's stuck due to lack of information doesn't make any damn sense. It can't be a positive for you either.
Subaru clicks his tongue, holding himself in as he speaks quietly. Roswell closes an eye at the quiet Subaru and silently stares back. It's pretty often that Roswell stares at Subaru like this, with just his left yellow eye. Subaru fidgets in discomfort at the gaze, which is making him uneasy for no particular reason. Roswell smiles.
Well, I did figure out that one day I'd be probed rather intensely with questions, which is precisely why I've prepared my resolve for this time.
Resolve?
Resolve to answer your questions with only moderate evasions. Wouldn't you say that the fact I can't run away and am seriously wounded makes rather great seasoning for it?
Seriously, a blue moon.
It's rather sad how little you trust me. Although, considering how our relationship has been until now, I think this was unavoidable.
I'm sorry for being so blatantly wary, but with everything that's happened, Yeah. You're just slightly, excessively secretive. Is it really safe to trust you this time?
Naturally.
Roswell nods and spreads his arms.
Your achievements over the past several days have given me more than enough proof to open my sealed heart. You can relax. I now believe in you, and you've made my deepest of hearts recognize and welcome you inside as a co-conspirator.
Hold it. I'm feeling signs that I'm about to get burned in with a kind of heavy cross here. You don't have to open your heart up that much, so let's kind of touch it a little.
Goodness, I'm so enthused. I'm so enthused, but he just pushes me aside.
No, I mean, like I said when you shove everything out on me, it's kind of heavy, or
Subaru stops himself with a stupid conversation that sounds like a new couple having a rocky start and clears his throat.
Anyway, never mind that co-conspirator stuff or whatever. For now, let's have you answer what I want to ask. Why are you keeping information from Amelia-tan? Let's start there.
Again, Roswell closes one eye and stares at Subaru. Roswell's limitations on Amelia's information feed have been an immeasurable influence on what happened last loop. If Amelia knew that her half-elf lineage would stimulate the witch cult, she might have been able to take better countermeasures to Betelgeuse's attack on Arlen Village. And unpacking that, it had influenced Subaru's efforts that loop as well, and the circumstances around Ram would...
Answer, Roswell. You should be like me, in that if you want Amelia-tan to be ruler, her dropping out halfway would be a problem. Then, why are you purposely hiding information to Amelia-tan's disadvantage? It doesn't make sense!
Here is how I will answer that question. What you're saying is exactly correct. And because it is exactly correct, I am keeping information from Amelia-sama.
I don't get it! Are you saying that hiding information and disadvantaging Amelia is something necessary for her to win the royal selection?
Precisely. Don't you think there's value in that?
Subaru's brows knit in clear confusion. Seeing that reaction, Roswell shifts in the bed, making it creak.
Subaru-kun, I'm sure this is what you've been meaning to say. If the witch's cult heard of Amelia-sama's petition in the royal selection, they might move. The witch cult in reality did move and attacked my lands. I should have planned that this attack may happen and should have set up countermeasures in my place for it.
That's it. Exactly it. Anyone would think it's plain as day. Maybe I didn't know about it, but it's self-apparent. Everyday knowledge that the witch cult and half-elves are related, right? And you should have known that too. So then, why weren't there any preparations? No! Even before that, why did you leave the mansion and hole up in Sanctuary?
I've been in confinement here, so it isn't as though I left the mansion unattended for several days on.
You can drop the semantics. You got injured like that by challenging the cemetery to settle the Arlen villagers. That is, it's a result of me getting people out of the village to counter the witch cult. That you didn't come back before then was intentional.
Arguing with someone who gets angry at logic that does pay off. Truly a good trend.
Roswell gives an unexpectedly carefree shrug. Subaru takes a step forward, not pleased with this result. But
Rom.
Roswell-sama is burdened with injury. Even so, he could surely burn you to nothing with just one finger. But I will not permit any violent action in my presence.
Do agree with this. You're exactly the same as me in getting treated like a throwaway pawn here. He knew that they'd be coming for the village and ran away just by him fucking self. Do you really forgive that?
Forgiving or not forgiving doesn't come into it. Rom permits every one of Roswell-sama's actions. How he chooses to treat me and how he chooses to throw me away are the same thing.
You!
Faced with Ram's incomprehensible loyalty, a surge of extreme emotion clogs Subaru's throat. That Subaru doesn't immediately turn to violence is either because Subaru's rationality manages to make the judgment that he couldn't be a match for either of the two, or...
You've fallen victim to this unintelligible crap because of Rem.
I don't know who you're talking about, but I have no connection to this stranger's name. Roswell-sama is everything to me. All except him is trifling.
While Subaru knows that Ram's loyalty for Roswell has always been abnormal, it's now turned into something different and borderline insane. And the big cause for that was Ram's forgetting of Rem's existence. Subaru doesn't know the details of Ram and Rem's past together, but by going through just the scraps and pieces he got from Rem, the two had a codependent relationship. Subaru knows about Rem's guilt and inferiority complex and how dependent she was, and though it's not so obvious in Ram, sometimes fragments of it peek through in her interactions with Rem. Just like how the majority of Rem's world was comprised of Ram, Ram's world was comprised of Rem and Roswell. Subaru's interference began welcoming new factors into Rem's constrained world for the first time, and she started to change, but Ram's world is still one of dependence and still constrained. Now that Ram's forgotten the existence of half of what filled her, Ram's world is now completely comprised of Roswell, and that's the root cause of her extreme, overly loyal behavior towards Roswell.
Don't provoke Subaru-kun too much. Ram, Subaru-kun really doesn't intend to do anything violent with me. His foot just came forward a little.
As you say, Roswell-sama.
All calm, all calm. Right, Subaru-kun? You might look angry, but you aren't completely enraged right now. You certainly wouldn't lose control and punch me, and would never choose the option of wasting this conversation.
What are you goddamn getting at?
It's very simple. Until rather recently, you would have had an outburst somewhere during our conversation up until now. Started ravaging and ruined this chance for conversation. You haven't done that, and although swallowing your own anger, you can proceed the argument. You've grown up.
Roswell gives a stupid little bullshit clap as Subaru's reward for this, and Subaru feels the violent urge to start fucking raving, burn hotter and hotter, but giving in to that urge would be exactly what Roswell wants. Subaru exhales deeply, pushing back the wave of fury. Then Subaru realizes that what he's doing is just affirming what Roswell's saying, and can't help but be unsuppressibly annoyed with himself.
Now, it wouldn't be very adultly to bully someone young any further than this, since you've shown me signs of your maturation. I should display more of my capacity as an adult properly.
Do go ahead. Anyway, give a precise answer to my question. Answer without any dodging. Why did you hide information on the witch cult from Amelia? Why, knowing that the witch cult were coming, did our biggest combat asset, you, leave the mansion?
Both your questions are answerable. Both of your questions are answerable with one response. I acted as I did so that I would not face the witch's cult.
Subaru's slow to understand what the fuck he's hearing.
I know that you wouldn't fight the witch cult? What for? You know this can't be some bullshit about them being psychologically unpleasant for you, right? You! If you were there, we would have gotten them in one swoop! And the casualties!
I see. I do believe that if I'd actually been there, the casualties from this ruckus would have decreased. I do try and accurately understand with my own ability, and I'm aware my position as one of the 10 most powerful persons in this country. I'll assert it clearly. If I had been there, the witch's attack would have smoothly been repelled.
If you knew, then why the fuck?
Because I knew.
Roswell holds Subaru, who's spitting everywhere, in check by pointing at him, and then points with that same finger up at the ceiling.
If I had acted, the achievement would have gone to neither you or Amelia-sama, correct? Even if I receive fame, that's to do nothing. That's nothing to do.
Subaru honestly doesn't understand what he's hearing. He prays for this to be a shitty joke of Roswell's and waits for his reply, but Roswell only tilts his head.
You realize I'm not going to deny it? It was a disaster I knew was going to happen. Is there any reason at all for me not to use it well?
Do you even understand what you're saying?
I don't know what about it you have. I don't know what about it you have a problem with, Subaru-kun, or maybe it's that. The damages from the villagers who left Arlem, or the soldiers from the mercenary group, or Crucius-sama private army who helped repel the witches' cult. Is it about you wondering whether or not you could have done something about those losses?
It's like Roswell plucks it straight out of Subaru's heart and throws it back at him as if Subaru doing such a thing is completely obvious. This time, Subaru truly does feel something well up in his heart of hearts. Before, when talking with Puck, the spirits remarked to the sleeping Rem of, "It's thanks to her that Leah saved," enraged Subaru. That incident made Subaru painfully aware of the indescribably huge trench between his feelings and the spirits. Otherwise said, the rage Subaru felt then made him understand that the two of them were fundamentally creatures of differing origin. This doesn't pass for Roswell. Roswell understands why Subaru's mad and knows what Subaru wants to say. And knowing that, he can make cruel judgments. However, that was
Hindsight bias, isn't it? I basically understand what you're trying to say. I can understand that whoever took command of the activities to counter the witches' cult attack would secure an achievement with not insignificant effect on the royal selection. And I also understand that if that person was you, we wouldn't have got the result we wanted. But
Subaru bares his teeth and while giving a big swing of his arm.
how many people do you think died because you disappeared without telling them anything? No, they weren't big casualties. They weren't. But they weren't zero either. People to die. And not just us. The witch cultists were...
If I was there, nothing would change about the witches' cultists being dealt with. All of them would turn to ashes. I'll accept your reproaches about the loss on our side, but complaining about the enemy's side is rather absurd.
But there must have been a more peaceful... No! That's not the problem here! Every goddamn thing you're saying is just fucking hindsight! Oh, you're right that it went well. Few casualties, got wiped out, immediate unsafe, the Arlen villages evacuated without trouble. But this, and that, and this, all of it was just timing. Being honest.
Being honest before Subaru could do anything. The villagers, the mansion, Amelia.
Everything. Everyone. In suffering. Traumatized. Cruelly. Killed.
Covering his eyes, Subaru frantically strangles the teariness out of his voice before it can leak out. Beneath his eyelids, Subaru sees the scene of that hell he couldn't forget. The village burned down, cadavers scattered about, corpses of children, and Rem's body dumped in the mansion's garden. A freezing, ending world. If not for Subaru's return by death, that world would have never been overwritten.
If you were there, that wouldn't have happened. You knew. And you let everyone die. So many times. You killed them.
It's bothering to be put in an incorrect position. The attackers were the witch cult, not me. And you prevented the attack with your very own hands. These casualties you're referring to don't exist. You're speaking merely blather upon blather.
Am I now?
Subaru answers Roswell's indifferent words in a low voice, dropping his shoulders. Blather. If that's what it's determined as, then Subaru can't do anything to overturn that judgment. So long as he can't bring up return by death, there's no way for him to fault Roswell for something that realistically never happened.
What if I'd stayed a useless, good-for-nothing wreck? What would you have done then? You're the same as me, in wanting Amelia to be ruler. The odds were too one-sided. It wasn't even something to gamble on. It's infinitely more likely that everything would have ended there.
But you defied that probability. Are you perhaps unsatisfied?
I am unsatisfied. You don't look like the kind of guy to leave everything up to uncertainties.
Some people go into battle wielding only their luck. Some people work as hard as they can to ready their circumstances to their advantage and leave only the final scrap of the battle to luck. And some people prepare everything from start to finish, deciding their victory from the outset.
You're not the type to make a bet in the first place. Why did you make one here?
Because I believed in you,
Says Roswell, his voice low. A snicker slips out from Subaru's throat.
So, you're not gonna answer me seriously?
Putting aside whether or not I believe in you, I am truly being sincere. After all, I decided that for tonight, and in this room, I wouldn't deceive you. I'll say when I can't tell you something, and I won't speak if you ask something inconvenient. But I pledge that what I'm saying is not falsehood.
Subaru was skeptical of how far he can trust Roswell's words here, being that his amicability towards Roswell has dropped unanimously thanks to this conversation. Subaru doesn't have the leeway to just accept it at face value. Subaru's gaze sharpens even further than just his son Paku. Roswell tilts his head.
I will say again, the reason I made the judgment I did is because I believed in you. I believed that if you saw Amelia-sama in a poor state of affairs, you would work frantically to secure an alliance with Krush-sama, then pour efforts into repelling the witch's cult, succeed, and achieve.
Even saying, for argument, that is true, how the hell could you believe in me? What do you know about me? Did I look like someone who'd done anything over the month we'd known each other to make me worth trusting? Of course I didn't. When we last saw each other, I was bona fide garbage. Then, that garbage became less awful in any way. It was because of what came after. And that, what came after, doesn't exist anymore. Except inside of me. What the fuck about me were you believing in?
Roswell closes one eye, looking at Subaru with his yellow eye, making him uncomfortable. Subaru stomps on the floor to shake off the gaze.
It's fucking ridiculous. You're saying that a brain-dead little idiot brat would do well for you, abandoned all your subjects, and ran off to go piss around? I can't even describe how fucking frivolous you were, staking your reputation and future on this!
It seems our conversation today will be ending here.
Mutters Roswell sadly. Subaru catches the muttering and his annoyance only compounds.
If you're not in the mood to have a proper conversation, everything you've said's useless. And even if you tell me anything after this, I already don't trust you anymore.
I sincerely do regret that your opinion of me has declined so far. I don't believe it's necessary to confirm this, but when it comes to what we spoke about tonight, Emilia-sama,
Of course I'm not telling her. Whether I say exactly what we talked about or play it up, there's no benefit in telling her about it.
No matter where that bitchy-ass Roswell's true intentions lie, having discord bloom between him and Amelia isn't desirable for the royal selection going forward. And then you have Amelia challenging the trial, which will boost her reputation. All exactly as Roswell planned.
you understand most everything and harbor unbearable anger towards me. But even so, you're incapable of flipping the tables or any such things. You are indeed exactly what I had anticipated.
Subaru raises his head. Roswell's expression twists into something truly repulsive.
You are truly worthy as my co-conspirator. Mm-hmm.
The death you're getting won't be anything nice.
I am aware. Unmistakably, I will go to hell. Which is why I must devote myself into abusing my power now, before that happens.
Subaru shoots Roswell a sharp glare, silently turns his back to him, and storms out of the room. There's no point in talking with Roswell any further. If he's not going to speak of his true intentions, then any conversation with him will be fruitless. But
Do you really fucking think everyone and anyone is going to dance how you want them to?
his hands balled tight into fists, Subaru renews his resolve. Roswell wants Amelia to challenge the trial, to overwrite the scorn the villagers and the people of the sanctuary have towards half-elves. And perhaps that will happen, but Roswell isn't considering the burden he's placing on Amelia. Just how riddled her heart will be at the end of it is also probably in line with Roswell's desires. Then
Won't let that happen. Amelia. I will protect her.
it might have just been a witch's caprice, but with the qualifications Akinda gave him, Subaru will overturn Roswell's plans. Subaru will stop the pain, the tears, the everything that could come about from Roswell's devices.
That's what I have to do in this sanctuary.
Floating in the sky, beyond the reach of Subaru's outstretched hand, is the pale moon. Subaru clenches his fist hard as if to grasp it. The image of a lovely silver-haired girl rises in his mind as he resolves to smash straight through that fucking clown's plotting.
Was that truly to your liking?
Subaru has left the room, but Ram and Roswell are still there. Roswell shakes his head, devoid of strength.
I did anticipate that he'd react like that. And although I understood this, how truly disappointing it feels to gouge into the heart of someone young.
There is no need to speak lies before me.
Roswell is like, thanks for the consideration, but I was being absolutely honest right there. What did it look like I was having a jolly old time doing that to you? Ram readjusts the disturbed bedsheets and in doing so feels something hard around Roswell's chest. Ram pulls the hard object out from under the sheet.
Roswell-sama, here.
Oh, so sorry. I suspected something complicated happened if Subaru-kun spotted it, but spreading it beneath my behind would have been deserving punishment. Need to be careful.
Roswell accepts the object, treating it valuably, and lightly strokes the cover. He puts a finger to his chin.
Anyhow, Emilia-sama confirmed to be qualified, and Subaru-kun's kindled up. When the trial begins tomorrow night, what do you believe will happen, Ram?
I cannot ever hope to infer entirely your thoughts, Roswell-sama. Would you have knowledge of how events may proceed?
It's not convenient to that extent. It is superior compared to the uncompleted ones the witch cult possesses, but it's still merely a counterfeit, unable to reach what she desired. How far could its wit possibly determine that conversation with Subaru-kun?
Roswell sighs. Ram's eyebrows raise slightly.
Then, what you said to Barasu was...
To some extent, it was a performance, but the majority of my feelings were sincere. Anyhow, but naturally, I did know about Subaru becoming so angered. I knew, but I'd still have some comment I'd like to make as well. Wouldn't I?
Roswell cradles in his arms so tenderly a plaque tome. His fingers brush the tome, slowly, stroking it endlessly. Lovingly, slowly, so slowly. And that's the end of the chapter. Why the fuck was the narration getting into it like that for the I started realizing as I was saying, like, what the fuck am I saying? What
Really getting into it there.
Freaky.
Yeah, like, what the damn hell is this, dude? Oh, jeez.
Roswell was a little
Dick
bitch.
Roswell. Yeah, he's more of a big bitch.
Yeah. You
I
did
don't-
an absolutely
No.
amazing job as him, though, Ash. I hope you had lots of fun.
Thank you. I did have a lot of fun doing his crazy voice.
The crazy man voice, yeah.
The cookie crazy. You gotta elongate every single value, or
Oh.
yeah. It's like half
I
singing,
am
like
having a
singing to annoy.
stroke.
It's genuinely crazy how much just is. I mean, we say it every single time, but how much is just out of order? Like, holy shit.
Yeah, it's
Already.
Yeah.
Yeah, what the fuck? There's so much stuff that's being answered too. When I first watched season 2, I had no idea what the fuck is going on. Now it makes so much sense. Maybe because I know what's gonna happen next, but like, it makes so much more sense.
It's
Yeah, like the entire thing with Ram and Roswell, like the affection was never explained explicitly in season 2,
Mhm.
and so it kind of came out of nowhere for a lot of people.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? Someone had to explain.
People
Oh yeah,
just
it's
had
because
to, like-
Rem's gone.
Infer it.
Hi, Drad.
Yeah, simply just realize it.
Drad!
Hey, Drad!
Hi, Drad.
I almost slipped in a hey, Drad before one of my narration lines, dude.
Yeah.
when the
Hello.
Ray was really excited to see.
Wow.
How you
Hey,
doing,
Drad,
man?
this doesn't pass for Roswell.
Hello.
Oh, Drad, sorry.
Hello.
I just saw your messages.
Yeah, I'll have some.
Ignoring one of your workers. How could you?
How dare you?
Most of my DMs I have been ignoring our lovely staff because I have been I have about 80 messages to catch up with. Most of them it's
Oh,
like,
I
please
feel
check
that.
schedule announcements, please check schedule announcements, please check schedule announcements, please.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest is ARC 6,
What, like,
which I
oh,
actually
it's
need
just-
to get back to, which I started today.
Yippee!
Yay!
Yippee! Chapter 1 will be done right after stream.
Woot woot!
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, I still need to give you
Dungeons.
permission.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. Lovely when you can.
But with that, we should probably end it for here now, because we're almost getting to about 2 hours on the stream. Thank you, everyone, for stopping by and listening. I hope you guys had fun. And thank you, everyone, for your hard work today.
Thank you, everybody!
Bye-bye!
Bye, everyone. Bye.